Okay, welcome back. So before we go into the leverage ratios, I wanted to make this really quick video to answer a question on the interval measure. Let's slightly change this a little bit. Okay, so if you look over here to the interval measure, right, it's saying cash plus marketable securities plus receivables. Oops. Um, Sorry, again, that thing kind of jumped up at me. It automatically does that. So we added the cash and the marketable securities and receivables, and we divided that by the operating cost. So let's just break this down a little bit first. So first, let's look at the denominator and see what it's trying to tell us. Well, it's saying that we're taking our operating costs and we're dividing by 365, and that's telling us that on an average day we have $3 of operating costs, or 3,000 or 3 million, right? It's just 3 units of operating costs. But if you look over here, now what we're saying is let's divide that, or divide that into, the sum of this, right? And the reason why that number is so high is because of our accounts receivable are so high. That accounts receivable are going up and up, and that is not a positive thing. We don't want to see enormous accounts receivable, especially as a percentage of our current assets, because we saw up here our accounts receivable, where is it? Our collection period is 31 days, right? So from a liquidity perspective, it's not very liquid, right? We're not getting it within 30 days. So rather, my proposal is that you look at this shown on the thinking hat and just say, well, let's look at cash, right, divided by that number. And that gives us 2.6. And what that tells us is that we have 2.6 times the amount of our daily cost in terms of cash. And in other words, if we stopped bringing in sales today and our cost continued regardless, then we would have 2.6 days that we could hold our breath financially with cash before having to start calling people and collecting money, before we had to start selling off our inventories at fire sale prices and other things like that. And so that's kind of what that measure says. Hope that helps out a little bit. Now we'll move on to our leverage ratios.